Welcome, Math 1B students. I wanted to help us to get started on our new material. Now, as you can see, I've got my Desmos app open here, and it would definitely be helpful for you guys to have your Desmos on your computer or on your phone opened up as well as you're watching this video. Now we're going to start in 9.5, and the good thing about 9.5 is it's not really connected to the previous material. Like I said, we're going to be going through new material. We're going to continue on with our lessons even during this distance learning time. And in 9.4, one of the big things that we went through was two-way tables. That was a while ago, though, and I know that some of you are probably struggling to remember some of it and all of that stuff, but you don't need to so much. In 9.5, we've got some new material we're going to be going through. And our lesson today is pretty simple. We're going to start by graphing a few of these sets. And if you look at each of these sets, we are going to be making a table with them. And a good quick thing to notice is that the top rows are all the same. So that makes things nice and easy for us. Now, if you have Desmos, you do want to pull it out. And my Desmos is going to be right on the side here. Nope. I forgot. Now they have the note switcher on that side. I just want to turn off that note switcher. Let me pull up Desmos again. Right here. All right, so we got Desmos right on the side here. And whenever we're going to graph a scatter plot in Desmos, it's a pretty simple process, but the big thing that you need to know how to do is to add a table. And that's what we're going to do right here. In Desmos, if you click the plus button at the top of the bar, you can click that plus button and it says to add an expression, a note, a table, folder, or an image. We're just going to add a table. Now in that table, we've got x1, y1. For each of these x1s, we're going to fill in the top row of that set. So the first one is 2. Enter. 2.3. Enter. 3.3. Notice how the table tried to come up with something for us. We're not using what's on the table or what the table comes up with itself. We're using our own. These numbers are not supposed to be in a nice numerical pattern. 4.2, 4.6, then 4.5. Notice how it went back down because they're not supposed to be in a specific order. 5, 5.5, 5.7, 6.1, 6.4. Okay, so we have everything in that first column. And that's the top row of the set. Now, we're not going to change that column. We will only change the second column whenever we need to. Now, for the second column, we're going to type in everything in the second row. That is 1, 1.5, 2.5, 1.9, 2.8, 3.2, 4.5. 4.5. There we go. 3.7. 1.7. Okay. 4.8. 2.7. 2.3. So now I have all of that data listed. And if you take a look, I'm going to actually bring that down. You end up with this cool set of dots here. Now, these set of dots is called a scatter plot. They're just dots that are scattered all over a plot. And we've seen this before. The big thing that we're going to be looking for with this scatter plot is the correlation. Okay? And it's a little hard to describe the correlation. But hopefully you'll be able to see it pretty well with a few simple ideas. If we look at these dots, do most of them kind of line up? Can you draw a line through most of them that kind of looks straight? Or would it go a little wonky? And as we look at these, there's kind of a way to draw a line. Not exactly a very strong line, but maybe just a little line. Okay, maybe a line that goes up, it kind of follows a tiny pattern, but it doesn't go all the way. And what I mean by that is, let's see if we can draw a line that maybe goes through most of the data. Let's try this. Y equals X. Well, that one only goes through 1 point. Well, what if I adjust it and I do X minus 1? Hey, that goes through a lot of points. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. And if I just change a few things here, what if I do 0.9 times X minus 1? Now it goes a little bit closer, so the dots that are on the bottom corner are a little bit closer. And what I'm going to do now is take a little screenshot and add it to our new, where is it? Photo library, yeah. I'm going to add this photo just so we can start to see this line a little bit better. Okay, there we go. That's a scatter plot, and we have a line that kind of goes through most of it. Okay, now one of the reasons why I wanted to scan this in was I did want to draw on it, and I do want you guys to see a few things. So one last thing for me to do, I want to make this a bit bigger. Okay. Now, the line, the way it is close to these green ones. I'm going to color them green. Those are all pretty close to it. And the red ones are a bit further away. I guess this one can be a green one instead, because it is pretty close. But those red ones are further away. And so, because they're further away from everything, what we want to say is that they don't really follow a very good pattern. The ones that are close do follow a nice pattern, but the ones that are far away don't really follow that pattern. And this leads us to start to think, if we pick any types of data, can we get them to follow patterns? Can we see if they follow a pattern? And one of the ways that we can look at this is students' height versus their age. As a student gets older, their height increases, but then the pattern kind of changes once you guys get to be teenagers. You're not increasing in height anymore, and some end up shorter, some end up taller, but there's a pattern to the data at the beginning, that as somebody's age increases, their height increases too. All right. With that said, I just wanted to bring this video to a close. We're going to be doing this together whenever we do our Zoom meeting. I want you to start to look to the data and think, does it make a pattern? With that said, I'm gonna hang on up Avengers NK.